Lots of us, when we bought AMC, when we get into AMC, regardless of what that time was, regardless of your, first purchase time, whether it was in January, December, February, April, September, October, whatever, June, even at the 60s, whatever, all right? Everybody would like to just move ahead, just move forward, just move on. But the thing is, the further they try to delay it, which I believe the short sellers are trying to do. They're trying to actually give the impression to the retailers and the apes that, hey, this is not going to pass 50 anymore, because anytime it reaches a certain level, they push it back down. They give the impression, pretty much they're trying to make this stall, okay, and make people sell and get tired of holding and watching the line every single day. I mean, it's been 11 months. So when you look at what the chart, when we've been coming from, looking at the 1 year chart, this was at what? So January, this was trading at $2. It went to 72 and now sitting at 42. So lots of questions people may ask. What is the probability of this squeezing before the end of the year? This is something I already addressed here, but I feel like when I read the comments, stuff on social media, it's something that people have in mind. Well, here's how you need to look at this. There's always two sides of any coin, right? So probability that anything can happen here before December 31st. I mean, that probability is very high. Why? Because anytime can happen with AMC and get it to pop, because the squeeze already happened. Yeah, I mentioned that in a separate video earlier today. The squeeze already happened. Why? Because the squeeze started when people started buying and buying and buying and buying even more. All right. So it's just a matter of time. This is a ticking bomb. But with the trigger in the hands of the short sellers. As a matter of fact, it's getting even more and more difficult for them because they're paying so much money into interest. They're paying so much money because they borrowed shares. And here we are, more and more suits are buying on top of the retailers. Plus, retailers aren't stopping. Retailers are still buying. All right. So even though you see low volume days like today, where we only have 39 million according to Google Finance, but in actuality, I wouldn't be surprised if this was below the 25 million shares traded today. It is still holding pretty damn good. This is a stock that, according to the street, was supposed to go back to $5. And so far, nobody's going nowhere. If you have the suits jumping onto this, the top funds, the smartest traders in the market, adding to their positions, not selling, adding to their positions, even Citadel, doubling down on the calls, it tells you nothing but, hey, you need to be a little bit more patient because anytime it can pop. Now, looking at the flip side of things, I also believe there is a strong probability that this can continue to hold, and by hold I mean continue to trade and take the time it's going to take to do what it's supposed to do, and that might bring us to nobody knows. The final thing here is nobody can tell you exactly when the squeeze will happen. Only the short sellers have that answer. I mean, not even them. Let me backtrack. They don't even have that answer because even they might think, well, we're gonna cover in this time frame. Something can happen in the market, like we've seen with the DWAC stock, like we've seen with Bed Bath & Beyond, like we've seen with Avi stock. Something can happen with no relationship with AMC directly, but indirectly impacts heavily the short sellers, hence forcing them to start the covering process. And we know it's going to take some amount of time, it's going to take some days to significantly cause that domino effect. All right. So the short answer here is nobody knows. But is there probability that this can squeeze before the end of the year? Yes. Is there probability that this can drag a little bit longer, further into next year? Yes, because nobody knows. I guess the only question you have to ask yourself is, how strong are your conviction if you want to stay here? I mean, it's your money, it's your profit, it's your gains, but it's also your loss. So be smart.